So let's look at the API enhancements that we've made as a part of the Service Virtualization version 10.5. So let's look at the challenge first. Right? Our customers are looking to create / update virtual services through APIs. Right? They don't want to log into the workstation and or the portal to create or update virtual services. Right? So the solution is, starting with version 10.5, they've created an API called as V3 version API that simplifies and enhances the user experience in terms of creating the virtual services and or updating the virtual services. Okay? And let's look at what are we giving you as a part of this API. So first thing is to create a virtual service. Of course, you can create the virtual services through the portal or through the workstation. But as I mentioned earlier, this is all about APIs. That's where the world is moving towards, right? So basically, creation of a virtual service through the API, we're supporting a WSDL, Swagger spec, RAML, WADL, RR pairs, or our native MAR files. You have the ability to provide SSL connections. You have the ability to also specify a port for deployment. Once the virtual service is created, let's say you want to update the virtual service. There we're giving you the ability to augment the existing virtual service using RR pairs. Now you have a virtual service already. Let's say you want to download it and share it. Okay? We give you the ability to download the MAR file using the virtual service name. Again, lots of configuration parameters to make it easier for you. First is you can provide the name, the description, the version. That's all custom fields you can edit. We give you the ability to provide the transport protocol, the type, the base path, if at all there's any. If it's an SSL connection, you can specify all the configuration there, and also the ability to choose the port, right? And data protocol, what type of data protocol handler it is, whether it's REST, XML, and so on. So this is a snapshot of what the V3 API looks like. Right? Very simple, straightforward, but very, very extremely powerful API. Right? Basically, as I mentioned on the previous slide, creation of a virtual service, updating a virtual service, and retrieving a virtual service in a MAR format. So real quick in terms of troubleshooting, right, as you go through this, one of the scenarios that I've come across is when you're trying to download a MAR file, by giving all the examples and specifications, sometimes it downloads a JSON file. And when you're expecting a MAR file, and if it downloads a JSON file, that's not the right way, right? So then, and what I figured was that the response content type has to be application/zip, right? You cannot expect to download a MAR file if you've given the content type as JSON, right? So that's one thing. The other one is, let's say you get a bad request. That basically means that you've not given the correct input parameters. Right? Another one that I've come across is 404. Right? 404 means you cannot connect to the VSC. And if you cannot connect to the VSC, you cannot create a virtual service, you cannot edit a virtual service, nor can you download a virtual service. Right? So basically you have to make sure that the VSC is up and running. So let's look at the demonstration here. 3 use cases. First, let's download an existing virtual service by giving its name. Then let's create a virtual service using a Swagger spec, and then update the existing virtual service with data. So before I get into the actual demo, I'd like to show you the documentation that contains all the information that we have provided as a part of this V3 API. So if you go to docops.ca.com and select the most current release version, which is 10.5, and then you come to the page and then you type in API, you should get the V3 API as the first entry. So click on that and it brings you to this page, right? Now this page gives you a wealth of information on this API, right? So if you go down, as I mentioned earlier on one of my slides, creating a virtual service, updating a virtual service, and retrieving a virtual service, right? And we have a couple of examples on this page as well. So feel free to take a look here. It gives you the Swagger URL as well, which I'll be using to show you the demo. And then there are lots of response codes and more information here in terms of what you can use and what you cannot use. Right? And the best part is the nice, rich content here in terms of, okay, what is the config? Right? How do you specify a port? How do you specify the name, version? If you want to specify the SSL configuration, all that information is here. Right? So feel free to take a look at our documentation page. It gives you good information on the V3 API. Now, let's go to the Swagger UI. So this is the Swagger UI as I had mentioned earlier, and this gives you the 3 different operations that we have as a part of the V3 API. Right? So the first one I'll work on is the ability to retrieve a virtual service that's already there. Right? So you get all this information here. What are the different parameters that you have to use? What are the different codes? Right? Successful code, there's a 404, and so on. Right? And so what I'll do is let me click on try it out, and it brings it gives you information on what needs to be put in here. If you see VSC name, so my default VSC is VSC, so I'm putting that here. And now I know a virtual service called as cars-rest exists on that VSC, right? And then I'm going to say true to download this MAR file as base64. And one of the things that I showed in the troubleshooting section was this, which is the application/zip, right? So you take that and simply hit execute, loading here, and then as a response, what you get is the curl format, right, that we had, and then the request URL, and then finally you get the response body, the response header, in addition to the download file, right? So when I click on this, it asks me where do I need to download it, and that's cars-res.mar, and then I just click, and it downloads the MAR file. So that's the first use case, which is to download an existing virtual service. Okay, great. So that's done. So let's move to the next one, which is to create a virtual service. Right. So I go here, same thing. It gives you all the information on the parameters that are required here. So let's take a quick look at this. Right. So there's a VSC name, the configuration. That's the most important part here. You want to deploy it to the VSC input files. Look at the different input files that you're accepting here. A response file, a VSM, VSI, RR pairs, Swagger spec, RAML, bottle, and so on. Right? If you happen to have a Swagger URL, you can specify that here. Same thing for RAML, same thing for bottle. Right? So all that information is here, and you have the error code and the success code here as well. Right. So let's do the same thing that we did before, which is try it out. Right. We know our VSC is called VSC. Now this is the config, and the config that I can show you here is here. This is a sample config that we have. Right. So I'm calling it version 1, my pets virtual service, my doc store, and so on, and I'm giving it a port number, the DPH, and so on. So this is what I'll just copy this. Right. And I go back here, and in addition, on top of this, I am going to put this, right? And so that's taken care of. Do you want to deploy to the VSC? The answer is true. Input file. Now let's browse and get that file that we're looking for here. So now let's locate a Swagger spec here. Going down, choosing a file here, and pet store Swagger, putting that in, and everything else should be okay. So that's fine. Let's keep this. Let's execute this. Remember, we've given a port number. That is our preference, and the port number was given in the config file. What this is doing is it's taking the Swagger spec or the Swagger doc, and it's deploying to the VSC. Okay, and we see a success. We see the curl command here, and we see the request URL and all the parameters that we passed as a part of this creation. Right, so let's go to our portal and take a look at the virtual service that was just created. So if I was to only look for virtual services, this is the MyPetsPS that just got created, and it's running on the port that was specified 35 seconds back in the config file. So there we go, we have our port. Right, so the virtual service is up and running. Remember, this is Swagger spec, so this doesn't really have any data, right? So now let's augment this existing virtual service by updating it and adding data into it. So back to our Swagger UI. So we've looked at the creation of a virtual service that was successful. Let's look at updating that same virtual service. Right. If you look at this, it has the same, almost the same parameters here: VSC name, virtual service name, what the VSC you want to deploy it on, and the data file that contains information on the Swagger spec. So let's do the same thing as we did before, which is try it out. By default, let's say VSE, and the virtual service name is the same as what we had given before, right? That would be the pets one. Let's enter that in here. My pet VS is the name that we had given in the config file. Whether we should deploy it, absolutely, we need to deploy it. And then where's the data, right? So let me show you the data real quick here. I have a couple of request response pairs. Now remember, what I have here is the cat information here. So there's a request, there's a response there. Again, there's a request. So I have a bunch of request response files, right, which I have bunched up into a zip file. So I go back here and then choose the file. So when I click on choose file, it should give me information on what files to select. So I'm selecting the my cats3 because this is a cumulative zip of all the other response and request files. So I'm going to select that, right, open. So that's where we have this. And then we don't need anything else because our purpose is to take the data in the request response pairs and augment it to the existing Swagger virtual service, right? And then I just hit execute here, similar to before. And there it is. The response comes back with a 200 code. I'm seeing all that information here that I had put into the virtual service, right? The curl command and the request. So we're adding data into this. Now let's go back to the portal and look at the virtual service. And here it is. The virtual service is still on that port, and we updated that virtual service, and it just got updated. So there it is, taking an existing virtual service and augmenting it with more data. So there it is, back to our API v3 page. So we've been able to successfully create a virtual service, successfully augment an existing virtual service with data, and download the virtual service. We've covered all these three use cases. Now, remember, as a part of this demo, I've only covered the Swagger spec, and as I showed earlier, you are able to do the same with WSDL, RAML, WADL, existing MAR files, and request response pairs or request response zip. So there it is. Go ahead and give this a try, and really excited to present this new API that will enable you to create virtual services, update virtual services, and download the virtual service directly through our APIs without having to go to the workstation or the portal. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.